Welcome to Legacy Realty. I'm Paul.
I'm Pam.
So we are back to this part 2 of Q1 2026 launches. Previous episode, we actually went through Nara, River Modern, Newport and Pioneer Residences. If you have not seen that, click on the link below. We'll bring you there. Go through it again. So moving forward, we'll start off firstly with Rivelle Tampines.
Previous episode, we talked about Pioneer Residences, which is located over here. And Rivelle is actually here.
You actually can walk to MRT and you already have shopping mall below and beside.
And it's also within 1 km of St. Hilda's.
Correct. This is a full-fledged, full package kind of EC. And it's a very popular launch, right? You got 5 developers coming in.
The top date being 768.
So of course, every time when we look at this per square feet per plot ratio pricing, right, you'll notice EC is always going to be a lot lower.
So developer is by Simlian. Simlian is a very experienced EC developer already.
Correct.
They previously did Orel as well, which is at Tampines North.
So these are numbers they want to run with in terms of Orel. We got our 3 beders, 800 plus square feet.
And the pricing over here has already inched out to 2007 to 2008. So who would have knew that actually EC will hit this kind of mark in like less than 3 years
So
time?
actually right now, right, we were talking about EC, right?
Yeah.
What's the income cap?
16,000.
16,000, right? You could probably run up your loan to about 800k, 900k.
1 mil.
Maybe even maximum 1 mil. And over here, you look at the numbers, right? They're transacting 1.5, 1.5, 1.7 million for 3 bedrooms unit at this size. It's going to be very efficient kind of layout. You'll be very surprised how it's going to look like. So this is the competition that has just launched. Orel. And of course, moving forward, we talk about what was launched previously. Also another EC up in the north. Canada itself, right, is in the process of TOP already. We actually already have transactions, right?
It just bounced out unit from developer and repriced it and resell it at this kind of pricing.
1,600, 1,400, 1,600, 1,500, right? Of course, there's 1,200. This kind of transactions sometimes, right, depending on situation. Lucky buyer get it at this price range, but we do not use some kind of
odd transaction as an
example. These kind of numbers, right, can't find in any other projects, right? It only come from ECs. Tenant being something that already gonna MOP in about 5 years time. They'll be the first one to try the market. How much potential upgraders or downsizers gonna come into the market. So in conclusion, Rivelle Tampines, is it a good buy and at what price?
Considering that Pioneer Residences, I think it will average out around 23xx or even 24xx. If they launch at 17xx to 18xx, right, it should be a set buy already.
I think it's a no-brainer at this point.
Because Tengah EC, right, they have already transacted at 16xx or even close to 17xx.
For something that is less developed, that probably requires some time to really fully function as a full township. You compare the Tampines, which is so much more integrated and everything is already done up, right? For this to even go below 2,000 per square feet, honestly speaking, it is already a very good steal. Cons is that when it comes to EC, right, it's going to be a 3 to 4 year holding period just for it to build, right? After you move in, you're going to stay at least 5 years. So that's a 9 year holding period. So of course, depending on your situation, if there's opportunity cost elsewhere, right, something for you to consider. If not, it is a sure get kind of setup. So right now, we're at Media Circle GLS, very interesting location. Not your traditional heartlands, not your traditional kind of CCR projects. We're talking about something that's coming up brand new, good location, and we got our best friend here, Bloomsbury. There's another land plot over here that is still not built out yet. So over here you can see, right, there's entire cluster of open land, and these are actually potentially they might do up future plots, right?
Subject to planning to be exact.
Right now is the Wessex Estate.
We have 3 bidders, and then the winner is actually Qingjian. They are also the developer behind Bloomsbury. So I think they are doing something similar like the Lentor area. They try to monopolize the area so that they can have a better pricing control. So you can see that the bidding price over here is 1037 PSF per plot ratio, which I think this is fairly reasonable, considering that Bloomsbury actually averaged out at 24xx on launch date.
RCR location and the neighbour areas surrounding is all a lot supporting at 2005, 2006 per square feet. For you to get a land at this kind of pricing, right, it's going to be a very competitive launch pricing. It's going to be a mid-sized kind of development. Residential
and commercial at first story. It's very similar to Bloomsbury, in fact.
Of course, when we keep talking about Bloomsbury, right, I want to go through in terms of the transaction prices. Right in just November, recently, 4 beders, we got 2,005 per square feet at $3 million. 3 beders, which is 980 square feet, 904 square feet, all at 2,005 per square feet. So these are the take-up rate in this area at this price range, right? You signify quite a good benchmark.
Bloomsbury and the upcoming Media Circle plot, right, it's not exactly the nearest to MRT. But you can see that considering the Hill at 1 Blossom by the Park, they have already surpassed 26xx. So if you look at this kind of pricing, right, sometimes the price difference, right, can actually buy you a car.
This is actually a post-harmonized unit somehow. Way more efficient layout itself, right, compared to what we have seen so far. Looking at this kind of area, right, honestly speaking, we look at this more for investment standpoint. It's going to be quite a good potential due to this entire empty plot land around it for them to have future upgrading. But of course, something like this, right, we also have to see something that is already more established, Bridge, which will be a 1 North Eden. 5 to 7 minute walk to 1 North MRT. TOP about a year ago. 3 bedders getting 500k. 1 bedder getting 12%. 2 bedders getting about 16%. Similarly, as per other projects we've seen so far, the 3 bedders are always one of the best catch. 2003, 2004, 2003, 2004. And these are pre-harmonized kind of layout, which means that in post-harmonized setting, right, this is about 2005 per square feet. In fact, some maybe even you can say 2006 per square feet. People are willing to pay this kind of price point because the rental yield actually supports it. This location we were saying, this is potential in the future. I think this is Bloomsbury. This is our unit here at Media Circle Parcel A. And if you notice over here, we actually have a white block.
It is actually rumored that the Tengah extension will actually pass by the Science Park area and also the Metropolis area.
This could become an MRT.
Of course, disclaimer, this is just rumored and hearsay. Of course, it really depends on your risk appetite.
And even if it's not going to be like an MRT, a 0.8 wide block, right, it means they can do anything. 3 floor, 4 floor, right, it could be a shopping mall. It could be a shop house area, space that is used for more functionality, community centers, all that as well. We actually dig into URA master plan, right, to go through what is the potential building facade.
We have nothing from the developer yet. So this is based on what we understand from the bidding condition and we are
our experience, our research. Based on this pointer itself, right, they say that the proposed development fronting Media Circle and 1 North shall be treated as main building. So potentially that could be the main facing of the development itself. Other pointers being a public plaza will be there as well, facing towards the pedestrianized Portstown Road. We have all these requirements. First thing you notice, 28,000 meter square of GFA space. There are some stipulated roof verticals that they require, which means that there's a block A with a maximum of 107 meters high, block B of 85 meters, and there's gonna be a third block, which is an ancillary block, which will be max at 21 meters. Maybe a function room or something a little bit low floor. Based on our calculation, right, this is probably gonna be around 34th floor. This is probably about 27th floor. And of course, the third one, 25 meters, is gonna be about 5 floor. It has to be a 20 meter between block A and B. So if you were to do 2 buildings, right, you probably would say you will have to put one over here,
overlooking the whole entire West Side area.
So the other unit itself, right, it has to face towards this direction because this will be the front facing towards the Media Circle Park with one 5-story building in between.
Not forgetting the block to block distance just now, it has to be
at least 20 meters. Facilities, everything will be in the middle. So this is what we guess, potential what they can come up with. The land price for Media Circle GLS, right, is actually a little bit cheaper than Bloomsbury.
Yes, correct.
So if it can actually launch the same price, talk about something that entering about start of the year, with more information on what they've already built here, right, they may be able to come up with a better layout. I'll say below 2003. Very good buy. But of course, probably it might launch around the 23, 24, might even go up to 2005, depending on the facing, the layout, the height of the building, depending on risk appetite as well, what kind of holding frame. Of course, at the end of the day, we always go through a very in-depth consultation on what is your requirement, what do you need, what's the best for your family, what kind of size is the best choice over here as well. Then we'll go through on that also. Tengah Garden Avenue GLS. Tengah itself is a full green land, used to be. They're going to create this as a new township and it's already in process. Probably will end up something like Punggol.
This is actually the first privatized condo land in the area. So considering that there's actually 3 bids for this land, it's actually quite good. And all 3 bids, right, it comes from reputable developers. And all bids, right, are less than 5% apart. Rivelle was how much?
768 per square feet per block ratio. We're talking about full privatized property with commercial on the first floor, sheltered walkway to MRT. Something like this, right, to get at almost an EC price is quite undervalued, I must say. This entire cluster, right, is all HDB. 20 to 30,000 HDBs, right, that is going to MOP in the next 5 years' time.
Which is very in line with our TOP, in fact.
Even further up into this area, these are also all residential plots that is going to keep building all the way up to a very big residential township. This is 2 ECs, Nova Place and Auto Place. Of course, we have Altura over here as well, and we got Copen Grand over here, and this is the only plot, right, that is your private, right beside the MRT. Hongkar, like GS4, 1 stop to Tengah, another 5 stop to Jam. 4 stops to Boon Lay. Full of amenities around, transportation is there, very convenient location, really established by the time it's finished building. So Copen Grand itself, right, have MOP, bounce out unit for sale again. 1006, 1007, these are pre-harmonized units. So those owners, right, that just bought maybe 2-3 years ago, right, they are actually even sitting on 20% profit already. MOP in 5 years time, honestly speaking, it will probably be way above 2,000 per square.
Correct.
Depending on market condition by that. If you talk about nearby locations, which is
the west side, along Yuanqing Road, basically for Lake Gardens, pre-harmonized, 2002, 2003, 2002.
In the west region, right, there isn't much of a new launch that is coming up near MRT, full amenities, something as such. Which is why when projects like Lake Gardens or in the west region, right, comes out with rather competitive price, it still gets snatched up. Because end of the day, there are going to be upgraders that still want to live in the west region. During their tender, right, there's a building requirements really.
Commercial at first story.
Then there's going to be a 76,000 meter square of GFA. So this is going to be a pretty big development. In fact, we're expecting to be about 300 over units. The developer is actually Cocoland. For them, right, they have all these experiences in the OCR region already.
correct.
And what residential area, right, actually really wants, right, I'm sure they'll come up with something very efficient. The users of first floor, they're gonna do this thing called AGU, whereby a lot of projects will be shops and restaurants, sports and recreational. They require an open space adjacent to Hongkai MRT. There's gonna be a bus stop along Tengah Avenue, southern entrance over here, and of course a covered walkway.
So your
Right.
price, exit plan, your
Everything is in place.
convenience, everything ticks.
The only con that I can probably think of for a
Yeah.
project like this at this price, right, this will be above ground MRT.
Correct.
Potentially, right, you'll get some train noise. Potentially, we can imagine the developer pushing it a little bit inside. At this floor GFA ratio, it might probably be about 4 to 6 buildings. Each building probably coming up to about 18 to 20th floor.
Yeah.
Plus minus. And based on this setup, right, and this being a north-facing unit, as a residential unit, based on our experience, developers like to do it very nicely stacked up.
Yeah.
A north-south orientation building. And with the space up at the top being a little bit wider, it might potentially be a 3-block unit. Usually, when a development like this, especially for a lot of private properties in the heartlands area, right, they like to keep an opening in the middle. Probably be used as a lap pool. Probably your clubhouse, all these, right, be fronting towards the front as well. It might actually allow the space, right, to create another 2 more blocks over here. Probably a side gate sheltered leading directly to the MRT.
It's
right?
definitely going to be a good buy, considering that all these, including coupon grant, it will come in line with our TOP of the MRT together with the development.
For them to build from the east up here, right, and have all this timing quite aligned, it's quite amazing. And these are all your exit plans already ready to come in and require the upgrade.
Correct.
And trust me, when it comes to heartlanders, right, a lot of time they really have their amenities, their family set up all in the same area.
It's very hard to shift out.
It's very hard to shift out this area. This being the only one, right, which is a private, right beside MRT with commercial on the first floor, right, it's gonna be a very hot.
Confirm step out one.
If you look at the market currently, there's almost nothing that can really launch below 2,000 or 2,000 per square feet. And averages are all at least 2,001, 2,002.
Yes.
For land prices that they get at 1,000 per square feet per plot ratio. So something 800 over square feet, right? If you can get the transaction price at below 2,002 per square feet, I think it's really going to be a good price. Because we talk about 20% premium over their EC components.
Correct.
1,700 per square feet. You add a 20% premium, right? We're coming into about 2,001, 2,002. So if you can get below 2,002 brand new,
just buy already. Don't think too much.
There's going to be more launches coming in. And I'm sure, right, if there's a success and a big success from
the following plots is going to be more expensive.
Developer will be more aggressive.
And
they
it
know
will be
that's
further from MRT.
Correct.
Hey, we are down to the last finally. Come on, come on.
So Lentor Gardens itself, right?
Are the 7th.
So you must be very amazed. Wow, how come keep launching more and more Lentor projects over here?
So this time round, Kingsford is inching their first plot of Lentor in the Lentor enclave at a 920 PSF per plot ratio.
And this is very amazing because as time progressed, right, they actually bought even cheaper.
As compared to the previous
So
land.
the previous ones, right, it's about 500 units, 99
Correct.
years. So these are all the development mostly sold out. First one was this Lentor Modern, 1,002 land. Second was Lentor Hills, 1,060 per square feet per plot ratio. Our third project was Hillock Green, 1,108 per square feet. Fourth one being Lentoria, 1,130. Fifth, Lentor Mansion, 985. And the first post-summer night, Lentor Central at 982. Back then it was a 6th block. People were curious, something like this 6th block already, so many people already buying into Lentor. Why would someone buy this? It was sold 93.3%. It was in a time whereby developers were still really finding out, right, what's the best and most efficient floor plan. And I'm sure at this point, right, when it came out, right, 1,200 or even 1,184 square feet, they managed to place a 4-bedder with a yard space.
Yes, very nice layout.
Yes,
I remember
with storage room all there
Yes.
as well. So when it comes to this, right, it runs out the price with about 2.2, 2.3, which is very attractive for 4-bedder. So right now we actually have Lentor Garden with an even cheaper land plot. Hopefully, right, they plan out an even more efficient setting. So you can get something in 2025 or 2026 for the price of 2022, 2023. We already have Lentor Modern, TOP, at the same time hit the 3-year mark. A lot of people start to release it. If you notice all these 990 square feet units, right, are already transacting at 2,004 per square feet. Some already reaching 20% return. Of course, I must say, right, this is still considered almost a sub-sale category. So in the short time span of 3 years, you're getting back almost 50 to 60% return on equity already.
We really want to remind you guys, actually for Lentor Enclave, right, to really see the maximum potential in the area, we do recommend you to hold at a slightly holding period, because you really want to see the township happening, the Tagore MRT running, and then start to have all the BTO launches. That's when you really can see people really start shifting their whole entire family to this entire area.
They actually plan a wind flow
For the
diagram.
whole entire Lentor area.
So they even actually plan out, right, that the wind direction have to go through here. This entire area have to be opened up. There's even wind direction
The
over
wind
here.
corridor.
Yeah, because of the wind diagram flow over here, Hillock Green actually came out exactly the same as how they actually predicted. End of the day, something like this, right, might not really equal to what the developer will view. This is end of the day just a flow chart for them to see how you want this space to be, what's the size, what's the distance between each building facing. Even though it was shown to be 3 buildings, Goku Land, right, all this experience they have over here in Lentor area, they actually came out with Twin Tower instead. End of the day, all these are subject to the developer's own architect, own plans. This is our Lentor Gardens. Over here, they show 4 buildings. So based on this, right, we go back to our draft itself. First thing you notice, 40,000 meters square of GFA space, but this one itself, right, they actually have a little bit more control factor around it. First to notice will be a low-rise zone. It's actually maximum 5 stories. Then there's going to be a fronting Lentor Gardens road, there will be 8 stories, and there's a mid-rise zone that actually can go up to 16 stories. If you can see, they actually say each residential block within the mid-rise zone. This is a little bit hint that it won't be just one mid-rise. So remember, there's an 8-story low-rise zone. It's encouraged to build along Lentor Gardens road. Means down south, right, facing the Lentor road, there's going to be the 8-story unit. Based on this, right, there was a wind flow channel that went through the middle of between Lentor Central. There was also one wind flow channel. And based on this, you know that the development that they're going to create over here at Lentor Garden, right, must allow this spacing in the middle. First unit, right, it was facing linear park. I'll believe a developer that create a space like this, right, they'll probably do something that is a little bit more north facing, because if it's fully west facing towards linear park, right, you're going to be faced with a lot of west side. So it'll probably be a 5-story unit, slightly slanted. On a low-rise building, remember we have one building that's supposed to face the Lentor Garden Road, so which means that and this is going to be a front entrance entering into Lentor Gardens. And for that, right, you probably have an 8-story building here facing towards Lentor Garden. And remember we talked about mid-rise building, 16 floors, right, that potentially could be more than one, and especially when the developer has a chance to build higher building, of course they'll maximize it. Based on this setup itself, we will believe that something like a northeast facing directly towards Hillock Park, semi-block view all the way until your opposite development could probably be in place.
If the developer goes through according similar diagrams, this stacks that is facing the Hillock Park, right, will likely cause the premium in the development.
One more building of 16 floors, right? Now we have to think, okay, what potentially could be another 16 floor unit? One choice is that it could probably go facing a little bit west, or it could also try to push it nearer towards the right portion to have this same Hillock Park facing. End of the day, this is our experience based on our research, what we see, what we think a potential layout design structure it could be. Set up in this way, usually you'll notice that in the middle, they like to do up the clubhouse and the pool area.
What is a good buy?
What price? So these are all potential TOP projects coming out. Means that the market will be a little bit on the flooded side. So this is something for you to really go and take note of when you're purchasing something into this area. If you're looking at 8 to 10 years mark, right, this is perfect.
I would think that for Lentor, right, every time a land plot coming out, right, there's a potential of you buying back at the day one price. Okay, it depends on bedroom type. The 2 bedrooms, right, could go up to 2 4XX, which we have already seen it in the.
So we got 4 buildings as well, all different facing. The pricing will be very interesting. All buildings will definitely come out at a different price point.
But average, it should be around 2-3XX. I think anything below 2-3XX, right? Considering post-harmonized also.
You consider a good buy, no? So I think that's all in terms of Lentor Gardens. Every single time when we finish this presentation, we want to answer a few important questions that our client always asks. First one, $2 million, what should I buy in the new launch market? Disclaimer alert, right? This is our own personal preference and our own personal understanding based on our experience, what we think would be a good choice. My choice, right, for $2 million ballpark, right, actually I'll go with Tengah Gardens. Reason being, right, below $2 million, right, you can comfortably get a 3-bedroom. With a land price like this, almost close to EC price, right, it usually comes with a location that is not so centralized. You're going for something that is gonna start at probably the lowest entry price of the year.
Yes, really.
And at the same time, you have a place, right, that already have a lot of HDBs existing. It's not something that you're projecting. It is already running. You're already moving in at a very, very good entry price. You? What do you think?
I would think that I will go for binary lah. 2 mil can get you likely a 3-bedroom. I think the location is superb. We have not had a launch at this part of Tampines for a very long time. So I think in terms of supply, it's running short and we have a lot of upgraders. So I feel like it ticks a lot of boxes. I want to rent out, it's an integrated. So rentability will be easy. If you want to stay, I think it's a perfect spot to stay.
These two I would say is actually one of the 2 better choices within this 2 million mark. Something that is this much value within this price point, right? It's hard to come by. Now we go to question 2. $3 million, what would you buy?
I will buy Rivelle Modern leh. 3 mil mark, I will buy a 3-bedroom in Rivelle Modern. But for a 3-bedroom in the surrounding of River Valley, right, you cannot buy anything 3-bedroom apart from the newer launches, which I would think that Rivelle Modern should have a more superior layout. Ticks a lot of boxes also. I don't think there are lack of any upgraders over there.
When they go to a $3 million mark, right, there's a lot of choices. 3-bedder, 4-bedder, 5-bedders. And among all these, right, I feel like a place like Pioneer would make the most sense. Starting the smaller 4-bedders, right? Maybe 2.4, 2.5. Go all the way up to the bigger 4-bedders. Even let's say they come with a landscape design, which is quite rare nowadays, right? You will potentially still be able to get it below the $3 million mark. Especially when you have surroundings that is already supporting kind of price point. Entering below 3 mil is a very safe bet lah. So that's probably our choices. Our last and third question. Can we flip in 4 years time? It's about how long you hold and your holding period and your holding power. Nobody can really predict what's the future. In the macroeconomics, we don't know what will happen. But if everything will stay still and project this way, right, in 4 years' time, what do you think is a good flip?
I would buy something in a slightly more mature town
True.
with not so many supply kind of area, binary alternate.
That answers the main 3 questions that we usually face. Every single project is different and every single client is different.
Yeah.
It really based on your case-by-case situation, right? We always go and draw out a full in-depth understanding of what you need and what you require, and what's the budget to work with, and what's the most profitable for you as well. Apart from that, right, we actually even created this Excel file, right, of all these upcoming launches all the way till the end of 2026, right? There's already GLS land sold, information on the market itself for you to go through and understand not just Q1, maybe there's something better at Q2. There's something better at Q3, and then you prepare yourself as such so that when you're there, you are ready to take action.
So we have come to the end of the episode. So if you like our content and you would like to see more, please do subscribe and follow us on all of our social.
Of course, if you have any questions, do leave a comment below or contact us. So this is Legacy Reality. I'm Paul.
I'm Fan.
See you soon.